Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel. This is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Well, let's get started. It's gonna be a classic read for today. Let's see where we are with the twins. Somehow I decided to pick up the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle deck to begin with, so let's see what we have for Divine Feminines. And of course, happy Friday. I hope you're excited for the weekend. You have some great plans. I'm trying to be less tied to, in my schedule, to weekend/work week, but it's still kind of that way, leaning towards that way. So I know I'm excited. I have a busy weekend, but it's gonna be great. Okay, so feminines, you have number 48, disengage from outcomes. Let go so you can open yourself to the highest love that you deserve. Find ways to release worry or any unresolved lack of forgiveness you might be holding on to. So either worry, anxiety, stress, or needing to forgive someone. And that can include yourself. As always, remember, it doesn't just go to everybody else, it goes to yourself. And I feel like, same as with self-love concept, this is like the other extreme on the other side of it. It's oftentimes very hard to notice that, to acknowledge that when it's about you, right? But whenever you're feeling guilt and shame, right? Whatever you feel like, oh yeah, oops, I did something wrong, right? Like that's like that hint that that's where it starts, right? It can be small, it can be big, just as much important. If you are not sure or you don't want to go into details, at the very least you can do an overall blanket message to yourself and towards the universe that you're forgiving yourself for any shortcomings, for any of those mistakes that you have made, you know. Whoop. 38 for the masculine, so we had 48 for feminines, 38 for masculines. Shedding the old, I love that. There is a change coming your way. Cultivate a sense of adventure so you will be able to see the new prospect. So it's almost like you have to have new eyes to see that the benefits and maybe even the excitement in that adventure, right? Like it's going to be something that you may overlook or you may not want to consider at first when you hear it, right? So the universe is asking you to put the old mindset away, or to try to have a new approach with how you agree about things. So what is your priority, right? Be a little more spontaneous, adventurous, whatever is needed to take this on. Yeah, I'm getting strongly that some may not see this as an opportunity, like with the positive side to it, you know. More like, I don't know about that. But yeah, Spirit is saying there is something big and important for you there. Okay, so we'll get some cards, as always, the energies, the additional question, the responses, and feelings. The moon at the bottom of the deck. Yes, we have the full moon upcoming, and it's going to be a lunar eclipse. Drum roll, please, on the 28th. It's not until next Saturday, though, so I'm not saying that's not important, because we are in the middle of the eclipse portal, and it's super important. It's also super important. I mean, yes, I already mentioned Taurus and Libra like 100 times. Watch which houses in your chart those signs overlook. Those areas are impacted the most. But if you're not into that kind of detail, you're not interested, just of course remember that eclipse portal is a time for strong awakening moments and transformations, right? So it's just as much as it is in the emotional sphere, in the consciousness, in the energy, and in the physical. One of the most powerful times of the year. And it is also very much connected to the nodes of the moon, the north and the south node, which are connected with our mission and purpose in this life. So that's another way to look at it, of course. The High Priestess. Yeah, you see the moon, the High Priestess, all this energy is calling us to go within, to connect with our intuition, with our higher self, with our guides, right? Try to see, to feel, even to sense, to use our psychic senses, right? To use our sensual parts of personality, to get into the little bits and pieces, right? To get those channeled messages, to not just to get them, but also to listen, to pay attention. That's another big part, right? If you have specific signs that work for you and your guides, then of course pay attention to those. And that's also another little tip. If you are asking questions, you can also mention how you expect to get the answer, or the timeline, right? Or like, okay, give me a sign, or if I'm supposed to take this, like show me da 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 da, and whatever sign you expect. That could be something more specific if you're into those specifics. Some people are, and it's easier for them that way. So just make sure that you have that clear communication channel with your guides on that topic. For feminines, we have the Judgment clarified by Six of Wands. So this is that awakening that I was just talking about, right? And this is awakening around what is success. When do I feel like I'm on top of the world, right? When I got it all, when I'm the happiest person I know, right? And that will surprise you. The answer will surprise you, right? So this is this new realization. What is it all about for you, right? And this is in the public eye. So this is probably less about like the personal feelings and, you know, personal relationships, right? Or even like the self kind of reflection. This is more like the reflection on the outside, right? Meaning that collaboration and communication and interaction with other people, right? When this and this and this happens, when I'm with other people, this is what I see as success. This is what I want to celebrate. This is what I'm proud about, you know, for myself. That's happening, that I'm doing this, that people are feeling this way, or they're getting this and that, right? For the masculines, we have Three of Wands, clarified by the Temperance. Ooh, I love this major arcanist. The masculines are, they're learning to be patient and not wanting to see immediate results. You know, we are living in that world with high dynamic, with like quick feedback kind of vibe, but it's even more emphasized for the masculine energy, because subconsciously they still have that expectations of themselves to provide, to produce, to lead, to control, right? And of course they want this feedback quickly as a self-validation in a lot of cases. So yeah, this is when they're learning that when you have big dreams or something critical, it takes them, you know, a while. I don't want to even say a minute, I want to say a while. It takes a while. And not because the universe is not paying attention, it's just because there is a lot of different things that has to fall together for those things to happen in 3D, right? Also, a lot of times it means that there is some work outstanding on the person's side, this case masculine side, that they need to do in their own right for things to work out externally, right? So this is where they're starting to see, and you see like even in this card, there is that sunshine, right? There is again that awakening moment of, oh yes, maybe if I'm expecting that, I'm also supposed to match that energy by doing this, by behaving in a certain way, by changing my beliefs, right? So they may not arrive at the same conclusion as the feminine does through like the spiritual work, but they still see certain patterns in behavior, and that's what's given them those clues now. The additional question is Knight of Swords, clarified by Five of Wands. Yeah, so this is the communication space, but it's guided by karmic conditioning. So it's kind of communication right now, external communication is actually very much a karmic pattern, right? Or led by impact of other people rather than the inner knowing and the self-trust. For feminines, it's King of Pentacles clarified by Two of Pentacles. For them, it's this idea of a, let's say, husband, because King of Pentacles is the husband card, right? But take the gender how it resonates, right? It's just that we're talking about like feminine energy. This is masculine energy traditionally, right? But it can be flipped, of course. If your masculine energy is a woman, works just as well. This is an example. So what, like, seeing the masculine energy as that traditional, you know, husband role, somebody that makes money, that is always busy, that is always stressed and like worried about 1,000 things, right? And the feminine is supposed to kind of like make it better for them, accommodate, right? Work around it. Like, that is a bunch of BS that you have to see now as this was the karmic condition, or the social condition, if you will, right? That basically an imprint from society. It's not something that is true, that follows universal laws, that follows the loving pattern in a relationship. For masculines, it's Knight of Pentacles clarified by Ten of Wands. It's interesting, right? We just saw the King of Pentacles. This is the Knight of Pentacles. So for the masculines, the karmic conditioning is in the fact that because they have so many troubles, they have so many responsibilities, they won't be able to do well, or they have to play small. They have to be okay with like with less of an accomplishment, right? Or not taking risks, so playing it safe, because they have a lot of responsibilities on the back of it, right? Or because they've been burned before. That's another side of it. And basically the universe is saying that's social conditioning as well, right? It doesn't mean that at all. If certain bad things have happened to you, it's not a sign that you're not supposed to go big or be successful in that area. Those were the tests or the lessons that were shaping you to be successful, right? Like changing that storyline. How are the feminines feeling towards masculines right now? Knight of Wands clarified by High Priest, which is the Hierophant in this deck. So a lot of passion, but it's like being attracted to the idea of a masculine and their power and their natural power, of leadership, of being an example in the community, on helping others, on serving with their story, right? Telling their story to help others, right? Like that is super attractive right now. So it's that attractiveness rather than like the physical sexual drive, right? It's a lot deeper than that. And it's actually what I'm hearing, it's igniting certain potential in the feminine energy. So that's how it kind of like crochets and goes back to the feminines, and they get excited to pursue something in their own right. It's like their masculine side, their masculine energy within gets ignited with this spark, with this idea, with this inspiration. Masculines towards feminines. King of Swords clarified by Three of Swords. Yeah, so there's still a lot of heart healing that needs to happen, but the masculines understand that. The King of Swords is a very logical, very strategic leader, right? So like, okay, I know I'm not ready to give you what you deserve. I know that some of my behavior and communication, because this is the air sign, and air is about thoughts and words and communication. My communication is coming from a place of a hurt heart, right? From a place of past failures in love, from my insecurities. I understand a lot of it is driven by it, right? So they're choosing to be very specific in what they communicate right now, right? And it's not because they don't want to share the emotion, the feeling, because they understand that there's still some work there that they need to do within their own right. So they want to be honest, they want to be clear, right? But it may not sound like a lot. If you're in feminines, if you're in communication with your masculines, it may sound like they're hiding something or they just don't want to talk. But in reality, they just considering their words very carefully, not to add insult to injury, so to speak, for yourselves and even for themselves, because they suffer just as well when they hurt you, right? It goes back to them. Even if they are in denial about it in the conscious space, energetically it still hurts them, right? So, and they're, by this time, they're already feeling that. So even if they don't think about it consciously, their psyche, their subconscious has already gotten that pattern, right? So rather than adding more pain or more trouble to the situation, they choose not to speak, if that's the hard choice they need to make right now. Okay, I think this is it for now. I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And of course, I'm gonna be with you again very, very soon.